This one was a little bit weird for me. Like, I have watched the Overlord anime, and I admit it was enjoyable. I am a fan of it. I'm a huge fan of anime that have MMOs as a theme. Log Horizon, Sword Art, Overlord, Recovery of an MMO Junkie even. There are so many good anime with MMO themes. I mean, it is actually one of my favorite anime genres, and that is probably part of the reason that the channel, the MMOByte channel, came into being. Like every mobile RPG, you're introduced to the game with a small narrative explaining what the game is about, more or less, after which you're shown a beautiful cinematic introducing some of the characters. They give you the option to skip the tutorial if you'd like, which is something that I appreciate. If you've played a video game before in your life, you know for the most part how every title is going to work. After the tutorial, you're thrown directly into the game, and yeah, this is, I guess, kind of where it got a little bit weird for me. Like every RPG, there is a menu that allows you to choose between each and every chapter you've unlocked. I unlocked up until chapter 4 before I stopped recording because honestly, and I know some of you guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but I felt like I wasn't really accomplishing anything. Every episode within a given chapter had a story that you could download or skip, which is just weird. It left me feeling disconnected from the game, as I'd have to sit through a download before every single episode. Some of them were as small as 3 megabytes, and others were much larger than 30 megabyte downloads. I don't know if there is actually an option somewhere to disable that and download the entire game. That was what I wanted to do and what I normally do in mobile games, right? That's what we always do. Regardless, I sat through some of the story. The rest I opted to skip because with 8 episodes per chapter and 4 chapters that I progressed through thus far, that is over 32 different separate individual downloads. And that was just too much for me. After sitting through each download, there were a series of 3 successive battles. And unlike other games that make you play through some of the game before unlocking autoplay at a certain level, Mask for the Dead actually allows you to autoplay right from the very first moment you step into it. So that's what I let it do. Unfortunately, I did not find any real connection or attachment to any of the characters because they were all robed men, which is fine, you know, but when I went on to summon new heroes, I was met with a wall that didn't let me summon even a first hero without using the in-game paid currency, which is an instant turnoff for me as I don't want to have to pay for characters to use in combat. This took me a minute to learn as I thought that the in-game currency was what I required as it shares the exact same model with the paid currency. Overall, I feel like I spent pretty much the majority of my time in the game letting it play the game for me. I didn't want to go ahead and download every single episode's story because I had very limited time while I was recording this, and at the time I wasn't even connected to the Wi-Fi, which meant that I was using my actual phone data to download each episode's story, their associated story, and that was just not worth it to me. Then the battles were all pretty much the same enemy type with the same backgrounds for 4 chapters straight. Who thought that was a good idea? Again, I am a fan of the anime, and knowing this is done by the original creator is awesome. Now, if only it were a good game that was actually worth playing. Now, I know that there are going to be some of you guys that automatically dislike the video, automatically leave a negative comment because my opinion on this differs from what your experience is or what your like of the game is. But I have just seen better games out there, and this being from a franchise that I enjoy is just disappointing. Like, I would say the same thing about any other franchise or any other game associated with a franchise that I enjoy as well. But this is my opinion, my impressions of the game. What do you guys think though? Is this something that you've enjoyed? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh.